People are already, especially the sophisticated markets, they're already skeptical. So if you have a written testimonial, again, you want the specificity, make it look like it's not just made up, and you want the specificity of having a full name and a location. And a lot of that gets fixed when you do have a video testimonial.
I think video testimonials are good if you can get them. But if you have an online business, a lot of times you're working with people in other cities who might not have camera equipment, even if you do. So that might be a little more challenging. But I know for my health coaching business, what I did was I picked my four or five favorite clients and who had had great results through working with me, who I enjoyed working with, and they were all in Nashville, and I had video equipment. So I decided I was going to do a video testimonial for all of them, and then I was going to piece it together in like a 3-minute video. And I'm going to say, like, I had written testimonials on my website before then, but this video really took the cake because I really told the story of these 4 or 5 different women and the results that they got. And when people watched the video, they got to see them. They got to see their first and last name. They got to see that they had really gotten results with me, and they talked about the specifics of the before and after. And for what I was doing, that was a really strong marketing piece that the written testimonials couldn't do for me. But I think, again, it depends on what industry you're in. And I'd say any testimonial is better than no testimonial.
Well, and here's another thing about the video testimonials or audio testimonials. You can transcribe them. If you need to put them in a print ad, for example, just transcribe them.
I think that's great advice. If you do have the video, have the written ones as well, because you can put them on different platforms. You can use some on social media, some on your website. You could use your video on Facebook and then use the written part on something else on your website. So just think about that and how those can play a role for you. And also you can get testimonials for more than just your one-on-one programs, if that's what you're doing, or your services. If you give a one-off workshop, or if you have a podcast or something like that, you can get testimonials from people or reviews from people for things like that. And that's social proof as well.
People are not going to come up to you and say, hey, you mind if I get on video and give you a testimonial?
No, that's never happened.
You have to ask. Don't assume that people know you even want testimonials. Don't assume that they know that you want reviews. If you go to redpodcast.com, every episode that we have, at the very end of it, we are asking for reviews on iTunes. And the reason is because we can't assume that people know we want reviews on iTunes. When you ask, here's another thing, give a deadline and give a reason for asking. Earlier I mentioned Laurel's testimonials for books, her current book that she's working on. And when that thing is ready to go to a printer, it needs to be at the printer. So if you have a reason for asking, and a reason for giving a deadline. Hey, I need this for a book, and it needs to be at the printer and lay out in 5 days. So if you could hurry up with it, that's a great opportunity for you to get the testimonial back. Otherwise, it tends to just kind of sit there, and people will never get to it because of that.
And I don't always give people a reason for giving me a testimonial, but I do give them a deadline. If you have a reason, that's like icing on the cake. But a deadline is important. I usually say, if you could get this to me in the next week, otherwise people will totally forget about it. And I think the best time and the best reason to ask someone for a testimonial is because they're excited about something. A lot of people wait till the customer or the client has finished their services or done with coaching or something like that, and they wait till the end of something to ask for a testimonial. And that's not the right time to do it. The right time is if you have a client or a customer who got great results, who was excited to work with you or had a breakthrough or anything like that. That is when you ask for the testimonial right then, or you send them an email right afterwards, or maybe you had a great call with them. You send them an email right then and say, hey, I feel like my other clients or my other customers would be inspired by your story, and I would love to feature you on my website with a testimonial, and then send them the questions that we talked about. And also ask if you can use a photo and their first and last name. I always ask for permission for that. Well,
you're doing something very, very smart there in that you're not making it just all about you. A a lot of times, like we get these surveys from companies and they'll say, fill out this survey, but it doesn't really help us at all. But by you saying, I feel other people would be inspired by your story, you're showcasing them, and they're more likely to give you a testimonial.
Yeah, but give them a deadline.
Definitely give them a deadline. Let's talk about how to make it easy, Laurel, because a lot of times people, they need help communicating. If you're a podcaster, a speaker, a writer, author, blogger, the people we mentioned earlier when we described who Red Podcast is for, you're a communicator. Most people don't have the communication skills you have, though. So because of that, you have to make it easy for them. They don't know these things. Where were they before? What was the problem? Where are they now? The specificity that you need. They don't understand that. They're going to give you that example that Laurel gave. Oh, I liked David. That's a testimonial to them.
He was great to work with, and we had amazing 1-hour sessions. Nobody cares about that stuff.
So what you want to do is you want to give them a template, and it can literally be a template where you go create something where they fill in the blanks, and then you put it in a sentence format.
I find this to be really effective. Just let people fill in the blanks. It gives people a structure, and it does make it just so super simple. And you can turn those questions that David gave before into this template for people. Before I worked with David, I was here, and now I am here, and this is what I like. So you can create that template from those questions.
Yeah, for example, you would say, I came to David because insert problem here. Here's where I was because of that, blank. Here's where I am now because of working with David, blank. Here's what working with David was like, blank. Here are the benefits that I have received because of this that I didn't expect to receive, blank. Yeah, that's absolutely how to do it. So you would get that information. You could actually, if you want to, and this happens all the time, you could put it in a sentence format. You could write the testimonial for the person and just have them sign off on it. You don't want to put words in their mouth, but say, is this what you're trying to say? Yes. Have them sign off on it, and that way you've got your testimonial in the way that you want it to be.
And that's how a lot of book testimonials are written.
Almost all of them are written like that. I know a lot of guys in the book industry, and you would be amazed at sometimes, like, it's the testimonial that you see sometimes, it's maybe for the first chapter. The book isn't even out yet. And maybe sometimes it's an outline, or maybe it's sometimes because it's a trusted author. Laurel, when you look at book testimonials, they're not all talking about the same thing. They're talking about different aspects of the book. It's very coordinated. So that's why you see this, that you'll see authors will go to different people, and they will each target a specific thing that they're trying to target. Maybe one of them's talking about how much money was made. Maybe they're going to talk about how much energy and time they have, all for the same book, the various benefits of the same book. They're not going to be money, 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 unless it's a specific money book.
I think that's super smart. And something I've done as well, and not just totally writing a testimonial for a client, but I'll have the client write the testimonial. And then if it's a little off or it's just not quite hitting, I'll rewrite it and then I'll have them sign off on it. So again, not putting words in their mouth, just since they don't understand what you're looking for, you just tweak it a little bit and then say, hey, is this okay? And usually people are totally fine with it. So that's another option.
Yeah, you can call people and record the call. Then you either transcribe it or you write out the bullet points for them, have them sign off for it. And here's what I really love. I love getting something either via email when I get good feedback. Hey, can I use this as a testimonial? I love finding Twitter conversations, or if you've got a product. We've talked on here about spirit hoods. Laurel, remember those things? It's like a fox, there's a cat,
Yeah.
different animals, and they're hoods. They're people putting pictures of themselves all over Pinterest wearing spirit hoods. Well, that's a testimonial. That's somebody wearing your product. And if you've got something like that people would put up on Pinterest, why not collect all those photos and use them as testimonials? You can do it, or you can link to them, if nothing else. And that's the social proof that you need, because that's really what testimonials are. It's social proof that what you have works, it works for these people, and it will work for the person that you're trying to sell.
And something that I saw was interesting, and that probably goes back to giving people a deadline, is that our friend David Tisha Morris, she runs a feng shui business. She has an online feng shui course. It's a 28-day course. And at the end of the course, at least she did this one time, she said, if you get to me a testimonial within the next week, I'm doing a Kindle giveaway. So for people that gave their testimonial for the course, she drew a name and gave a giveaway. So that gets people more excited and gives people a deadline and gives you a reason to ask for a testimonial and helps her with her social proof for her course.
And speaking of giveaways, we are right here in the middle of the 30 days of red hot giveaways. If you want to get involved, redpodcast.com/giveaway is how to do it. This one is brought to you by Mic Tech Audio. They are makers of the Procast SST. If you're looking at getting into podcasting, this thing is amazing. It's a mixer. It's the stand to get the mic right in front of your face where it needs to be. And it's a high-quality broadcast microphone. One cable into your computer, you are ready to go. The Mic Tech Procast SST. Let's give away a Blinkist subscription, Laurel.
Awesome. Blinkist is book summaries. If you haven't been listening in, we are big fans of Blinkist. It's book summaries that you can do in 7 minutes, 10 minutes, things like that, just basically downloading books into your brain, which is awesome because entrepreneurs, we don't have a ton of time. So do you have our list up, David?
Absolutely.
You can pick a winner.
This guy went to redpodcast.com/giveaway. He signed up. It's Nathan Brown, gets a Blinkist subscription from us.
Nathan, congratulations. Very exciting.
I've got a book to give away. This guy was the king of getting testimonials. J. Conrad Levinson. He has a series. You've heard of it. It's called Guerrilla Marketing. I actually was part of a book that he did. It's called Guerrilla Marketing Job Escape Plan. We're going to send that to you. If you want to see testimonials, this guy was the king of doing it. Speaking of king, Jay King. Let's give Jay King one of these.
Jay King. Again, congratulations to both Nathan and Jay. Very exciting.
So we've given you the elements of a good testimonial, the ways that we go about getting testimonials. It's easy when you put it to action. Put it to action. Laurel, thanks for being here. If you want to get in on the podcast giveaways, redpodcast.com/giveaway is how to do it. We've got a few more days of this, and we're going to be continuing the giveaways as we continue Red Podcast. Laurel, thanks for being here. See you next time on the next episode.
You've been listening to Red Podcast, Real Entrepreneur Development. Subscribe today using iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS at redpodcast.com.